Hello, everyone. Huh. It's not showing that I'm live on YouTube. That's interesting. But I am alive. I can pinch myself and say I'm alive. And Sandra's on doing her last card. That's great. I finished my last card and posted it. Hello. Hi to the two people that are here. Looks like it's going to be slow going today, which is okay. Been watching the weather. They've got some sort of thing that's broiling in the Caribbean, I guess, Atlantic Caribbean area. I don't know. It's there, when I subscribe to the hurricane, NOAA thing, and it's there. It's a yellow X with the cone of uncertainty type of thing that engulfs all of Florida. But no one's really saying too much about it. I read the discussion, but I don't really understand, a lot of what they're talking about, troughs and shear. I mean, I know what a wind shear is, but it gets very technical. But no one, and it says it's got a really high probability of developing into something, but they're not saying what. I guess a tropical depression or something like that, but it doesn't have a name. And no one really has their panties in an uproar over it. So I guess it's okay, or so far. I show 4 people here, but no chat. So I'm going to say hi and see. I'm going to say hi to everyone and see what happens. Because this is weird. It shows 5. Let's see. Maybe that'll bring up. Well, it says, I see me. Ah, there's Colleen, right? Monkey 911 is Colleen. And Dawn. Hi, Dawn. Okay, that's interesting. There was no, and it's not showing up on YouTube. It just shows my stream from 6 days ago. I don't know. Anyway, well, thank you for being here. I appreciate you for being here. And I've been working on, hi, Belinda. Just before I went on, my son FaceTime me, so I will FaceTime him when I, get done. He's the traveling warrior. He just got back from driving from, Utah to New York. And they just got back from their yearly road trip. And they stop along the way and they visit zoos and aquariums, and he literally collects visiting zoos. And I don't know how many zoos he's seen. Many zoos across this country. And every time he goes to a new zoo, he gets a magnet. So his refrigerator door is covered with magnets. And he ran out of space and he didn't know what he was going to buy, some magnetic sheets to put on his cabinet. And I said, well, your back door is probably metal or steel. And he didn't know that. He said, oh, yeah, it is. So he's probably going to cover that too. Hi there. Good to see you. Everybody excited for Devin's stream this afternoon at 2:30? I know I am. I can't believe it's here. I mean, she's been talking about it. If you didn't post a comment, you need to go over there and post a comment on her July 10th video. And I don't know why that is so loud. Did you hear that? That is so loud, and I don't know what I have turned up That is so loud. All the volume is off. I mean, the volume is down, and it sounds like, yeah, I don't know what's causing that. I have to go investigate that. My phone volume is down. The volume's completely off on my iPad. Still don't know why I'm not showing up on my YouTube channel, but that's okay. Anyway, I think it might be my. I have a little, a mini little speaker box, a Bose speaker box, and maybe it's coming from that. But how, I don't know. But anyway, I talked about. I got 2 new watercolor, like how-to books, and I was going to share those with you. I was enabled by a watercolorist that I have started following. Her name is just went out of my head. Diane Antone. And she goes by Diane Antone Studios. So DAS, DAS. And I love her stuff. It's simple, and she'll go on forever. She'll go on for like 3 hours and very softly and calmly talk as she watercolors. I mean, if you want to calm down, if you want to follow along, I've done a lot of, pieces in her style in my watercolor book that I'm working in. So when she recommended these books, I went to Amazon and had them in a day or two. And the first one is called Creative Abstract Watercolor. And according to Diane, in her opinion, she says this is one of the best books she has ever seen. And it's the beginner's guide to expressive and imaginative painting. So beginner's guide is for me because I am definitely a beginner. And so I immediately got this, and it has some really neat, I mean, again, basic stuff. She's got projects, she's got abstract botanicals and techniques and color philosophy. And I need all the information I can get about color stuff, because I'm constantly making mud. I can't seem, I have the color wheel and I've got the color cube, and I still, I just instinctively but she just a lot of really neat stuff in here. So I'm really looking forward to getting into this and doing some of her, projects, step-by-step kind of stuff. This is kind of the stuff that I enjoy, and I enjoy watching her do this. And Janet Young does a lot of this. Hi, Lydia, and hi, Pam. Janet Young does a lot of this. I don't know whether she's familiar with this, but a lot of different techniques, wet on wet, wet on dry, dry on dry. But I'm, again, looking forward to working through this. I mean, I love the little houses. I really like that a lot. That's kind of cool. And I love those colors. I'm looking forward to this. Very kind of abstract, but it's recognizable. You can say, okay, those are some fish. Oh, look at those blues. I don't know if you can see that or not. Aren't those gorgeous? And there's the palette there. So I'm looking for abstract landscapes. I love these trees. So this is what I'm going to be playing in. Ooh, look at that. I'll be playing in this and sharing. I don't feel confident enough to sit down and do this live in front of people. Maybe someday. But yeah, so I got that one. And then the other one I got is called, and this was also recommended by her, Soul Color, a 10-week watercolor painting course to cultivate mindfulness and creativity by Emma Burley, and another kind of step-by-step type of thing. And I'm a good step-by-stepper. I'm a great one at following directions. Yeah, I am a full believer in following directions. A lot of people, especially when it's putting something together, they dive right in and they don't, and then they get stuck halfway through. And I am a direction. Oh, look at this. Is this not yummy? Oh my God. Oh, and Diane did something like this the other day on her stream, and she just started. But isn't this fun? Oh my gosh, it is so yummy. And I think she's got another one. It's Soul Nature, I think it's called. Let's see if they mention the other book in here. This is 2021. So this looks like, oh, that's pretty too. And very mindful brushstrokes, relationships. Well, this is me. Why do I always end up with brown? That's my question. Oh, Candy, there's no late. I'm so happy that you could make it. This is so true. Why do you? I always end up with brown. That's day 6, so we'll find out. Color cords. But this looks like a very. Oh, look, it even has one of these thingies. A bookmark. Getting familiar with value and hue. Isn't Hugh a guy? No, just kidding. Hey, Hugh. Really quick and easy way to make a color wheel. So this looks very, very good too, with exercises and yeah, empty cup painting. So this is the other one I got. I was watching Dee Dee this morning, and she did that. She took out the fashion magazine and was copying or tracing the model bodies, and she showed that technique many, many, many years ago. I've been watching Dee Dee since she was on Ustream when I first watched her, and then she went over to no, this is Ustream, isn't it? The other thing before Ustream. I watched her over there, and then she moved over to where we are today. And did you hear that? Hi, Kimberly. Happy Hub Day to you too. That tracing of the model thing, I did that, and that's really, first of all, it's a lot of fun, and it is very, very helpful. And it's kind of like muscle memory. And I subscribe to Vogue just for cutout pictures and stuff. And so I don't mind doing it directly on the photograph, but you could use tracing paper. But I've done that exercise, and it's a lot of fun. And I do believe it's helpful. I really do. Again, it's just getting a sense of where everything is. And I've got many books on drawing, the human body, and the eyes are really in the middle of the head, and you can cut the head up, half and quarter, and one head. Most of us you have a head, right? And the length of the head, 7 of those typically makes a body, all of it. I mean, I know all of that. It doesn't make it, any easier, but I have the knowledge, but I'm working on the skill. So I just wanted to share those books with you because I wanted to, and I'm excited about delving into them. And as I do one or two, I will share those with you as time goes on. What else I was going to? Oh, my trip. My journey to the west coast of Florida. It was long. I mean, not long in sense of It was almost 3 hour trip. And a lot of it had to do with traffic patterns. You have to travel on a road called I-4. Can you hear that? Maybe you can't. A lot of times you can't hear, but it's got to be coming from my Bose. Okay. It has a lot of it has to do with traffic patterns. And there's only really one major highway that goes east-west in Florida. And it's up towards Orlando. And it's called I-4. Sometimes they refer to it as the I-4 corridor. And this road has been under construction for the 24 years that I have lived here. There's always been parts of it under construction. I left Thursday morning, well after rush hour traffic, but I'm sure many of you that travel, all of a sudden traffic comes to a stop. Yes, Dawn, you know that. It's a nightmare. It is an absolute nightmare. So the traffic just comes to a dead stop for no reason at all. None whatsoever. There is no accident as far as you can see. There's nothing going on, and it just comes to a dead stop. And then you inch along for a couple of miles, and then miraculously it opens up. And everybody's going 70, 75 miles an hour. And you're looking around, you're thinking, what caused that? And there's no apparent reason that causes that. And then the traffic moves along at a steady pace. It's weird. Now, coming home, there were actually alert signs. I came home on a Sunday, so there's no construction on Sunday, right? So I'm driving home on Sunday, and there was actually signs saying alert, stop and go traffic for the next 6 miles. So they know at that particular spot, the traffic's going to stop and go bumper to bumper for the next 6 miles. And it did. And then it opened up again. And we were flying again, 75, 80 miles an hour. And then you get behind that jerk that's going slow in the fast lane. And then they back up, just don't even get me started. And then a little bit further on down I-4, there was another alert sign. Alert, stop traffic for the next 4 miles. And damned if the traffic didn't stop. Hi, Safia. For the next 4 miles, it was crawling, stop and go. And then it just opened up for no reason at all. It just started moving again. And it kept on moving all the way until I got home. I mean, it just makes no sense. But it's interesting that they knew, they warned you, at least coming home, that was going to happen. So you knew ahead of time. And the route, I mean, I've only driven this once, but I already know I take 95 to 528, 528 to I-4, I-4 to 75, 75 to 64, period. Then I'm there. So that's how easy it is. Again, the directions. I contend that the directions are there for those people who know where they're going. The directions are not there for you that have no clue where you're going. Literally, I really feel the direction know where you're going. Anyway, so that's my rant on I-4. I had a lovely visit. We watched the opening of the Olympics, and we watched it live. Like, we watched it at 1:30 in the afternoon. And I guess there's been a lot of controversy about it. We all thought it was just effing mind-blowing. I mean, I loved it. And a lot of people were screaming, it's anti-Christian, it's anti-this, it's horrible. I just thought it was brilliant. And they were all these individual shows. The thing I guess I liked the best was the horse, that aluminum horse that went down the Seine River. And all the athletes, oh my gosh. I mean, it just broke all the, traditions. And I just thought it was crazy. I thought it was wonderful. And I said that to my neighbor, and she said, I hated it. It was awful. And I just didn't say another word. But everyone's entitled to their own opinion. But I thought it was, I guess, very French, I guess. Anyway, it was good. I enjoyed it. So I've been watching the Olympics on and off. Because not working, you can watch it really live. You can watch it in the afternoon live. I was watching the aquarium. Hi Angie. I was watching the horse racing. It was like what would be like the steeplechase. Hi Aunt Bex. I hope you're resting. The horses jumping, doing all the jumps, and they had a bit of a water course in there, and that was pretty exciting to watch them do the horse. I know it's not horse racing, but it's like a steeplechase where they have a lot of jumps to go through and a rather long course. You just woke up, okay? Aunt Bex she and I were going to do cards together today, but she wasn't feeling well, so she's resting. I just hope she's feeling better soon. So just keep on resting and rest it away. Get rid of it. Okay, I'm going to work in this for a little bit. I didn't realize how behind I am. But I don't know what to do with these pages. This was free. Oh, this is photo. I'm happy with it. I don't think you saw this because I hadn't. The prompt for this page, and the pages are out of order, but it doesn't really matter. Who's going to know, right? Nobody's going to know. You're not going to know because I just told you. But picture. This is for picture. And these came out of one of those ephemera pads I had, and it had Kodak. And then I cut out this picture, and this is an envelope, obviously you can see with the window, and I made like a little, and this picture came out of another, like one of those books that you cut up. So I put it on, this is one of my extra jelly plate postcards, and I'm very fortunate that it fit. I cut it so that you can see her face. So that kind of worked out. So I'm pretty happy how this turned out. And the prompt for this was picture. Was it picture or photo? I did. Anyway, that's what it is. And then colors. Look what I did for colors. Are you ready? Ooh, ta-da, ta-da. I went all out with colors. I took out my acrylics. I found a starter journal in my packing yesterday. Oh, wow. Yeah, I know what that's like, Candy. All of a sudden you come across something and go, when did I do this? Hi, Anina. So I was very happy with this. So I picked out, I guess, 8 colors. I guess I had 8. Yeah, and then I just did them twice. So I'm happy with that. So that was colors. The next prompt was timeless. So this is my timeless page. Not very creative, but I saw this ad in the back of a magazine, and I really thought that was pretty. And this came from a digi download from 49 Dragonflies, I think I just happened to have. So I glued that down, and that brings us to tip in. And and buttons. I've already done the button one. Let's see where the button one is. I've glued some pages together because I'm going to have some extra pages. So I've glued some pages together. So things are going to get out of order. But, and this was the tag that I made. I just stuck that in there. You were here. I made the tag on screen. And so for buttons, I just went through magazines and just, I made a couple of faux buttons, but I just cut out pictures of buttons, and these are models out of Vogue magazine, and So I just cut out buttons, and that became my buttons page. I don't know what I'm going to put here. Maybe some more buttons. I don't know. And then after buttons comes, well, that buttons is way down. I have to do a tip-in. So I thought I would work on a tip-in. I have a board that I can use as a tip-in, which is a tip-in's kind of like a tag. Hi, Janet. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. All right, let me find my... Oh, what'd you do with it? What'd you do with it? Oh, here it is. Okay. And I have some stuff that we can glue on the tip-in. And we'll make a little tip-in and we'll tip it in. I ended up painting that because I had too much paint left over from the color page, and I ended up painting that. So but let's do that. So let's do a tip-in. And I've got a little drawer over here that's filled with, it's kind of like an art miscellaneous drawer that has bits and pieces. And inside the drawer is another drawer. It's like a little box inside of a box. So I'm going to kind of reach into that and pull out stuff to use for the tip-in. And so let me move this out of the way, and we can construct a tip-in. And that tip-in is going to fit right there. I'll move that out of the way and come over here. Yeah, when I got home Sunday, I was home in time. Hi, did I say hi to Belinda? Yes, I think I did. I got home in time to stream, but honestly, the tank was empty. My tank was empty. The tank on my car was empty, and I just, yeah, I couldn't do it. So, and I'm going to go back. I know I've given it much thought, but I think I'm going to go back to 5 on Sundays. Yeah, it just seems, I guess that seems to work the best for everybody. These are little thingies that I made. These were Ava Bohemian Crafting little things that you can make. She always has these neat little things that you can make out of one. This is out of one 12 by 12 scrap thing with pockets. So I made a couple of those. I'm always making these little things and never knowing what to do with them. I've got a little lace, stickers. So let's do this. I'll put that here so you can see it. I'm so bad at, I know what I could do. I don't know why I didn't think of this sooner. Why don't I do this? How about just doing this? So I'm hoping that this thing that's brewing out in the Atlantic / Caribbean, whatever, amounts to nothing. There. Look at that. Now I know if I'm there, good. I could, yeah. Okay. How about that? Why I didn't ever do that before is beyond me, but, you know, sometimes it doesn't matter. It comes late, it comes late. It's still a good idea. Actually, I should do this too so I don't wander. No, I'm always wandering this way. Okay. All right. So there's my, I found this. This is really, I almost don't want to use it. I guess I could make a copy of it. But I found this in the parking lot at Publix. So I guess this is true ephemera. And it's something from China. And disposable protective mask, non-medical, raw material, non-woven, batch number. And it was laying in the parking lot. And I picked it up and I went, ooh, how cool. So we could stick that on there. And I got a little time. ha. You have some time? I've got some time. That looks like a Timmy thing. Stick that on there. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I'm going to save these. All right, I'm going to save that. Never mind. Pretend you didn't see that. Because one of the prompts is ephemeral. And that is ephemeral. I've got this little Van Gogh washi tape thing. So we could stick that on here. Let me see if I can't peel this. See if I can. I made one. Yes, that's a great idea. I talked about it, and I'm glad you're doing it, because I talked about doing that with my mom. I can't tell you how many times I talked to my mom about doing that. I was just going to record her, and I never did. Oh, that's that. I even like that. I like that too. Let's like that. I might use that and use the card for something else. The card could be a tag or a tip, another tip in. I like this. Hi, Mary Lou. Yeah, I often thought about doing that with my mom, writing it down, recording it, and then writing it down. All those stories. I mean, she was a child of the Depression. Hi, Gail. And how they didn't have an oven. And that's some of my, I don't know what that is. Something. I made a mess of, but let's stick a piece of that down. And she remembers as a little girl, her mother, my grandmother, would put together a pot of beans. Hi, Mrs. Gigi. It's great seeing you. And they would put make a pot of beans, baked beans from scratch, And my mother would carry the crock of beans down the street to a neighbor who had an oven. And the neighbor would put their beans in their oven, and they would cook all day. And then my grandmother, I think, would go back and get the beans, because at that point they were too hot, and she was afraid that my mother might burn herself carrying them home. But stories like that, and the fact that they lived a doctor in the neighborhood who had a big old house in the neighborhood, and this was Fall River, Massachusetts. And they lived in the 2 back rooms off the doctor's kitchen. And I guess my grandmother must have done cooking and cleaning for the doctor. My mother remembers this doctor in the evening sitting down with her at the dining room table and helping her with her math. I mean, that's just great stories, And that her grandmother, who had 9 children of her own, Margaret Mather Brule, always made my mother feel that she was the one. She was the most special. Oh, you're back from summer vacation. Where did you go, Mrs. Gigi? Did you go to the shore or the beach? And her grandmother lived across the street. And my grandmother always lived on the 2nd or 3rd or upper floor. She she was always too leery of living on the ground floor of an apartment. They always lived in an apartment. I guess no. Well, they lived in a house in Warwick, East Warwick, Rhode Island. But that's when my mother was growing up. And they lived above today, which it was because I took my mother back to Fall River, and we did a whole memory lane, went down memory lane type of trip when she was, I guess she was in her 80s, and we flew into Providence, Rhode Island, and I rented a car, and we went to New Bedford, and we went to Fall River, and we went to Warwick, and we went to, there was another little place, and Mary Lou actually helped me remember the name of this place, but I can't think of it now. It was a little coastal village, and there's a supermarket there called Ryan's, and it had a supermarket with an old wooden floor, and it's still there. Well, it was there when we went there 20 years ago. And it's still owned by the same family. And there was the theater where my mother met my dad, which was still there. You had a great visit. You had a wonderful vacation. She said, yes, she did. Wakefield, yes. No, Wickford. It was Wickford. Yes, Wickford. Very cute little, with little shops, and it was, yeah, that's what it was. That's. Can you hear that? I keep on asking you that. No, I think it was Wickford. Yeah. Wickford. So we did that, and then I'm thinking, I don't know whether it was Fall River. Oh, well, it wasn't New Bedford. It must have been Fall River. New Bedford is where they have the whaling museum, and in the town center they have a big statue of a whaler. That's in New Bedford. My aunt was a librarian at the library in New Bedford, but in Fall River there is a small Catholic cathedral, bigger than a church, and I think it was St. Anne's. And my mother, and there was around it was like a park. The church was at one end of the park, and my mother remembered, walking across that park to go to school. And so and there was a steep hill. Everything was like hilly, and she had trouble. I guess I can't tell whether it goes this way. It's got to go this way because there's the bottom. Yeah. She had trouble managing the hill this time because she was in her 80s when we went back. And so I taught her how the old Mallorquin people go up and down the hills in Mallorca. It was St. Anne's, yeah. When the Mallorquins, the older Mallorquins, here's the road, and they walk up, they walk up zigzag. So they go horizontal, back and forth. So it's not like walking straight up a steep hill. And it's much easier than walking straight up. So we were walking up the hill. It was a lovely visit. It really was. And then we hooked up with my cousins, her mother's sister, Gwen, and went out to lunch, and we had clam fritters. Ooh, yummy, yummy, yummy. Mary Lou knows what clam fritters are. Oh, they're so good. We didn't go to Rocky Point, though. Mary Lou knows all of this because she lives there, but I spent my summers there. And we'd go to Rocky Point and go on the merry-go-round where they had the brass ring where you could actually go out and, you would reach so hard, you'd be reaching, because nowadays, they'd be afraid that you'd fall off. You'd reach so far in order to try to grab that. You love clam fritters too? Yes. Oh my gosh, they're so good. I like that. Yeah. I'll put it on. Maybe should I put it on an angle like that? Is that better? Maybe. I could do that. Yeah, that works. I like it. Put something here. Let's see what else I have in my little magic. I got another piece of, I think this is when I was doing the finger painting that Dee Dee had done. I'm going to use that for ephemeral. I'll put that over here for ephemeral. This is definitely ephemeral. I got the word clever. Ooh. I think I'll put this here. Yeah. I stamped on that. And I'll tear that here. Oh, look at that. We used to get them. They used to close in the late 90s. Yeah. There was a little amusement park where hi, Kathy Berg. It's good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. I wrote down the prompts from Tuesday, but I didn't do them. I missed them because I was at bridge playing with my neighbors as a substitute, but they don't need me after yesterday, so I won't be playing bridge for a while. But I happened to say yesterday I played my best bridge yesterday. I really did play well. I mean, they may have not thought I played well, but I actually tied the one woman for first place. So I came in second. I mean, that's no big deal. But to tie this woman, this is the woman that's 99 years old and has been playing bridge since she was 16. So I was quite proud of myself. Yeah, I know. I was very upset last time because I had played so horribly. I'd made so many stupid mistakes. And, I don't mind making mistakes, but I want to learn from them. I know hi, Martha Makes Art. I know we all want to learn from our mistakes, and I really felt that what they had taught me last week, I remembered. And for me, I have trouble, remembering that kind of stuff, and I remembered, what this one bid meant. And, and my partner, who's also, well, she's much younger. She's much younger than all of us. And she actually said this one bid, and I knew what it meant. I was so proud of myself. I knew exactly what she was telling me. And there's something in bridge called no trump, where there's no trump, meaning there's no suit that takes out other suits, and every suit is equal, and typically in trump, there's 13 cards in each suit. So you only have to really keep track of 13 cards. You're supposed to keep track of the trump cards, right? But in no trump, I can't keep track. I mean, some players can keep track of all of the suits, but I can barely keep track of trump. But in no trump, you have to kind of keep track of where they all are, which for me is impossible. I'm sure there are bridge players that can do that. So playing in no trump is the most difficult. And I ended up having to play 3 hands in no trump. One I had to play in 3 no trump, meaning we had to make 3 tricks over the book, and I ended up making 4 over. Then I had to play another hand in 2 no trump, which I made, and then another, even though this makes no sense, I had to play 1 no trump, which is the hardest to play, and I did that, and I made all 3 of those. I was so proud of myself. Anyway, yes, and now I will. Well, I could get up early Wednesday morning and play, but I'm just too lazy. Hi, Yolan. Getting ready for the big day. Everyone's excited. Everybody is excited for your stream. I'm doing a tag as part of the prompts for the Junk Journal July. I'm kind of liking that. Yeah. Turn it over and do the other side. Yeah, I like that. And we all finished. Let's see. Okay. I don't know where it is. I'd show you I'm not going to show you them all. You've seen them all, but I was going to show you the last one if I could find it. No, I don't know where it is. But it was fun, that's for sure. Yolan made a video of every single one. And I think Sandra did too. Pretty sure she made one for every. I don't know where that is. And I kind of ran out of steam towards the end, and it was hard. And so I'm not happy with my last one. It just kind of was, yeah. I got it done. And I don't know where. Well, isn't that annoying, right? Well, that's 30. Oh, there's 31. Yeah. Now they're all. I kind of like this one. I think I showed it on. Let me show you this one real quick. So this ended up being 31. Hi, Miriam. And this is a picture that's cut out from a magazine. This is cut out. And I made that flower. That's the jelly print in the background. And the caption is, the contrast was extreme. And I went online, found a logo for taxi, right? And I uploaded it into Google Draw, and I shrunk it way, way down so it would fit on this car. So that's where the extreme. This is a Rolls Royce and it's a taxi, and so that's where, and that kind of fit the little quote, which I cut out of a book that I was reading. So that's 31. So the contrast was extreme. So that's number 31. That's all she wrote. And I still, thinking about how I'm going to put that together. I showed you that one possibility. I'm going to use that. All right, let's put this down. This is a stamp that I had. And obviously you can see I stamped it with a purpley. Hi, Butter. Miriam's here. I'm way, way past your bedtime, Miriam. I think I'll use this again because I like it. And this is like the back side, or it could end up being the front side, right? Who knows? See how we do it on time. Okay. Can't think of anything else that's really new. Oh, Monday, my neighbor, my roof mate, think I told you. She asked me to take her to the doctor. And I said yes. Oh, okay. Yeah, you got to watch Yolan. That's going to be epic. Um, and she's got a situation. I think I told you. Her daughter is, both of her daughters are over. The one daughter has cancer, and I think it's terminal, and it's, and she doesn't. They don't want to leave her alone. So she asked me whether I could take her to the doctor, which of course I said yes, and I didn't mind. But I wish she would have told me. Hi, Gail. Oh, I said hi to you. But when we got to the eye doctors, there was no parking anywhere, which that just, no parking. Ended up parking on the grass, not close to the doctor's office. And I'm just thinking that's just greed. You have to have that many patients. And so it took me a while. I drove around a couple of times, right? Finally ended up parking on the grass. My neighbor had already gone in, which was good. And when I got into the waiting room, there was one seat left, and I took it. And I sat there, and I played online bridge, which was fine. I knew it was going to be a while. But then it wasn't just, then she said to me, and I'm not bitching. I'm just telling, okay? Then she said, oh, would you mind if we stop at the post office? I need stamps. And I said, okay, that's fine. So we stopped at the post office. I went in because she couldn't really see because her eyes had been dilated. So I went into the post office, got her some stamps, right? Then she said, oh, do you mind if we stop at the bank? I'm going, oh, okay, not a problem. And I'm kind of at this point, this is fine. But the next time, if you want me, tell me, I need you to take me to the doctor, the post office, and the bank. Then I won't be blindsided by, it's not like I had anything dire that I had to get to, but it was just, I guess, the not knowing that it was going to be, an all day affair. And I don't mean to sound, mean or, but I was just taken back because I thought I was taking her to the doctor. I should have taken out a tip for myself. Yeah, she said, what do I owe you? And I said, well, what am I going to charge her $12 an hour and say, oh, well, you owe me, $48 or something like that? No, I can't do that. Anyway, that was yesterday. Multiple stops that I didn't know that were coming. I guess it was just not knowing, right? So when she asks me again, and I know she'll ask me again, because things ain't going to get better, $29.95. I will ask her, anything else? And I'm thinking the daughter that is staying there to help her with the daughter that has cancer, that woman would probably love to get out of the house. If I were her, I think I would love to get out of the house. Hey, Ray, good to see you, right? I would think that she would like to maybe get out of the house and maybe save, just go to the doctor and then come home and let the other daughter run those errands. And of course, my neighbor's saying, well, I always make sure when I go out, I make sure I go run all my errands at once. And I'm thinking, well, that's great for you, but I didn't realize that I was going to be running all your errands. But it's okay. I just thought it was kind of funny. Anyway, that was yesterday. Well, that was Monday, right? Monday. Yesterday was bridge. And she's one of the ladies that plays bridge. And the two of them, they're always partners. So they know one another. They know they're bidding one another. You got to go, okay, take care, Gail. So they know exactly, what they mean when they say something. They know exactly what they mean. You know what I mean? Because they've been playing bridge together as partners forever. Should I stick that on here? You think so? What do you think? I like her. A little lady. Yes. Lounging. Another one of my fussy cuts. Fancy cut, fussy. Yes, she knew I need the exercise. Yes, that's another thing. Well, she doesn't. I don't really walk that well. I mean, I am considerably younger than these ladies, but I have my own issues. And I was picturing myself falling, trying to walk through the grass on this grass lot because it's uneven, right? I'm thinking, oh my God, if my knee went out or something on this uneven surface, I'm out in the middle. I would be screaming my head off before someone would hear me. But anyway, it all worked out. And what she's going through, it's not going to be easy. And I know that. So I will help out as long as I can. And I was telling her that she could get her groceries delivered. Hi, Barbara. That's okay. I'm just doing a tag in. No, a tag in? A tip in. A tag that's going to be a tip in. All right. What do you think? What do you think? Clever? Or not clever? Or clever this way? I'll put clever that way. I've been hanging on to this. I've cut that out. I can't tell you how long ago. Yeah, I was trying to explain to her that she could have her groceries delivered, but she's not tech savvy, I guess. But again, that one daughter might like to get out of the house. I was complaining about, I don't know whether Angie's still here or not, but one of those daughters smokes. That's the one I was bitching about when I was able to have my windows open before it got so blistering hot. But then the daughter would go out in the back and smoke. And with my windows open, it was like she was smoking in my house. So I don't know whether that's the daughter that has cancer or it doesn't matter. Whoever it is should stop smoking. Who am I, right, to judge? But all right. You think that time clever? You think that's too much? Maybe it is. Okay, let's stick that in. And I'm going to save that. I got this little magic. I have a little basket over here. And this is some fodder from fodder school. I signed up for fodder. Fodder. He ain't heavy fodder. He's my brother. I always think of that from Boys Town with Spencer Tracy. I was, remember, you were here when I was talking about the lady that was in the backyard smoking. Well, I don't know. One of them has cancer. I don't know which one. I'm assuming it's the one that was smoking, but maybe not. I don't know. Okay, let's put this in and make it a tag. Hi, Sherry. Yeah, I think it's great that you're making a journal for your niece because that's just, Super. Again, I wish I had done something like that. My mother-in-law actually wrote a book about her life. My mother had a very, oh look, I even, it automatically has like a blue border around it, but I think I will ink it anyway. I love these little finger knobby doos or whatever. This one's all, I'll just do a little. Give it a little smoosh here. I had told my son to, I've discovered this comedian on, and I've only seen him on Reels, stand-up comedian, and I think he's hysterical. His name is Josh Johnson, and I recommended him to my son to listen, on the way home. And apparently, on the Reels, it doesn't really. I guess it just shows, the the less R-rated parts of his material. And he said no, he had to turn it off because it got a little much for the kids. And I said, oh, that's too bad, because I think the guy's hysterical. And but I can, again, I haven't heard that part of it. This needs something here. I do too. I love ink. They're a pain, but I love doing it. And really, I should have, inked everything. Something needs to go here. I don't know whether it's that or, let me look in my little basket of, ooh. I was going to put her here, but she's too big now. I can't use it. How about a little Frida? Yes, I like Frida. We'll stick a little Frida here. The unibrow. Maybe I'll cut her out. Just do a little cut of Frida. Maybe we'll leave the little halo around her. A little dab of Frida will do ya. Yes. Speaking of a little dab, we'll dab her too. Just a little dab. Okay, Angie, you take care. Okay. Should I put them on an angle or? I don't know. I don't know. Oh well, I'll put it down. We were reading about Frida the other day. I don't know whether it's in the chat group or I can't remember where, but we were reading all about. God, she had a horrific life with her leg amputated, polio. I guess her husband was a real jerk. Diego, is that her husband's last name or was it first name? I'm not sure. Okay. Let's stick this in here. Yeah, horrible. See, I got this, but I don't know. I don't know. I think I would do, that's the button. All right. I guess we'll stick it here. All right, I'm going to use clear packing tape. I think maybe I'll do this because this, I glued these pages together, and so that's a little bit stronger, so I'll stick it here. I don't think it really matters since I'm all out of order anyway. Thank you, Mrs. Gigi. I'm glad you had a wonderful vacation and you're safely home. I'll do this side. Yolande, I left you a message, and I don't know whether you read it or not. So, just if you didn't read it, and if you can't, if you don't want to, that's fine. But I thought I'd offer, and you'll know what I'm. Dinner time. Oh, that's right. 6. I guess it is. Yeah, it is 6 o'clock. It seems so funny when some they went on vacation. We never went on. Oh, I left it in Facebook messages. Messages. Not on Instagram. But we were already friends because it didn't pop up, so I must have talked to you there before. We never went on vacations as a family, ever. Doesn't that sound awful? No, we never did. You know who went on vacations all the time? Without us kids? Were my parents. They would take off, all the time and leave us home with my mom's parents. They would take off. Now, my dad worked for the airlines. So back in the day, before Cuba became communist, they would take off and spend a long weekend in Havana, or they'd take off and spend a weekend in Barbados or whatever, He worked for the airlines and he could. And so we were always left at home with grandma and grandpa. Now, that was fine because, oh my gosh, I love my grandparents. Oh, okay, super. Yes, my pleasure. So they would go off on their romantic, and we would be left at home again. I didn't mind because my mother's parents were like the classic, okay, Anita, you take care. Thank you for stopping by. I mean, my mother's parents were like right out of, they were the textbook grandparents, They just were, you couldn't have had the Norman Rockwell of grandparents. They were the perfect grandparents. I think I've told this story before. I would sit on the couch looking out the front window from the time I got up in the morning until they arrived, if they were coming. And I would keep on saying, when are they going to get here? When are they going to get here? And they were driving down from Warwick, Rhode Island, which I think was probably about a 3-4 hour drive. Couldn't wait for them to arrive. Love them dearly. So it was not a horrible thing to be babysat by my mother's parents. I just, in one year, they brought me a bunny rabbit for Easter. How cool does that get, right? All right. So there's my tip in. I'm very happy with that. And thank you for being here while I made this. So I will say goodbye. If you haven't given me the finger, please consider giving me the finger on your way out. In about an hour and a half, a little bit less, mosey on over to Devon Rex for Art for her wonderful YouTube celebrating her 10,000 subscribers. How awesome is that? Yes, and I'll see you tomorrow. Mary Lou and Beth. Bye, Beth. Take care, everybody. And remember, if you can't be good, be careful and nice and interesting. Bye.